Hi guys, good night, good morning, good afternoon. Depends on where you are. So this is how I built my little Facebook cover video. Like I mentioned before, I use some different softwares and different items to put it together. So we'll start by putting together the border frame. So for this, I'm gonna use Illustrator today. Before I use Corel, just easier for me. I'm gonna use Illustrator since I'm gonna use all the Adobe software. So I'm gonna create a new file. Our Facebook cover page or Facebook cover has a specific size on desktop. It's 351 pixels by 215 pixels. So this is what I put over here. You can go from points, pixels, inches. So we go to pixels. We select the sizes. And we create it. This will be the size that we're using. So what I'll do is I'll create two rectangles. One is going to cover the entire page. I'm going to color that black, or whichever color you want your border to be. Then I'm going to create another one. And I'm going to turn that one white. That way my squares, my little boxes, whatever the border is it's not gonna show. It's gonna show the actual boxes itself since the box is white. So this is the easiest way for me. Then we'll select both items with Shift and select the other item, and we align the objects to the center of the page and center to itself. So we're gonna save this file or export this file as a PNG file. Let's see if we can find that option. It's a PNG 8-bit. I'm gonna save it to, I'm gonna create a new section for it. Over here, I'm gonna call it border. I'm gonna save that. And I'm done with you. Yes, I'm gonna save it just for later. Same spot as I saved it before. Just in case I need to come back and change colors and whatever this is here. So it's all saved. I'm gonna close this app, close that. Okay, let's do it again. Okay. Open a larger file. I'm gonna select all my layers. So I have, 18 images, which I need actually 30 for that file. So I'm gonna export these layers themselves. Since I used on the last one, I used different files for different clients. I started putting a little suffix over here with the name of the client. That way, they don't, because most of the files have the same name unless I name each one of the layers, which I didn't. So I'll save this as a PNG file again with the transparency on, and I export it. I'm gonna put it on my same file that I was using a minute ago. Photos. I'm gonna select that folder and export everything. Okay, we're done exporting. Close that. And I don't need to save it. Now we go to Premiere Pro. We're gonna create a new project. On this one, I actually have my own project already. So we open the same project. Basically what I did is I created a sequence. And my sequence properties, my sequence settings, my file is 820 by 312. That's my frame size. So with that, what I do is basically, let me take all this out and I erase all this. Let's do a new one, new project. I'm gonna save it on my same. Name it. We create a new sequence. Basically, it's gonna give me the sequence that I wanted before. Well, my sequence is 820 by 312. Now that I got that, I'm gonna export my media. What I'll do is I import all my files, which is all my photos, which are right here. This is the right one? Well, I'm gonna import my border. There it is. Then I'm gonna import my photos, which as you can see, I got more than the ones that I had. Got two different clients here with a total of 37 files, which I only need 30, but okay. I open all of those. They're all right here. So the first thing I do is I drop my border into my sequence, into my timeline. I'll take my music out. And I'm gonna turn this into a 30-second speed. And right now it's 25 seconds. I'm gonna do it, usually it's 30 seconds. So let's do 32 seconds. So this is my sequence, 32-second sequence. Then what I'll do is I select 15 photos. Two, four, six, 8, 15 photos. I'm gonna drop them into my timeline as on the second layer. Then what I'll do, I'll select all of them. And I'm gonna time it. I'm gonna go to speed. Right now, each photo takes 4 seconds playing. I want those to be 2 seconds. So each one of them is 2 seconds. I need to delete all these little spaces. So this part is kind of tedious, could be because I still have to size everything. So then I select another 15 photos. And I drop it into another layer. Again, I time all this. Two seconds again. You know the spaces. Oh, right here, I cannot go with a regular delete because I got something in the bottom, so I need to move everything. That way I have nothing around it. And these will collapse into themselves. Otherwise I have to move them. I don't want to do that. Okay, on my sequence, each photo is changing every 1 second. So what I do, Since these photos are 2 seconds, I move my timeline into the first second. So basically this, you go right here, you go to 1 second. I can put a marker if I want to. So this is my 1 second, this is right in the middle of this. So basically, what I'll do is I grab all of these and move it right there. So with this, every 1 second, my photos are going to be changing. Right now you're seeing only the top photos because they're not scaled yet. So what I'll do is I'll move it to my first photo. It's a huge photo, so I'm gonna scale it. I don't know, let's do 10. Let's see where it is. There it is. So I'm gonna hide this one. So grab this one and I'm gonna move it to this part of my, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, let's say like that. And I'm gonna copy this. Select the rest of them. And I'm gonna paste my attributes, all of them. I want the motion, which is the one that, motion is the one that controls the scaling and the location on it. So I don't know if all of them are gonna be on the same size. See, some of the files are a little bit bigger, but you get the idea. So I'll do the same with the other one. I'm gonna hide this layer, expose this one, go to my first photo, right here. I wanna scale that one again, 15%. I'm gonna relocate it to where I want it. I want it on this side. A little bit bigger. You see how the transparency works over here? Since I export this on PNG with the transparency, we can actually do this. If we export this as a JPEG, you can export this, all this white into a white part of the photo, so it's gonna overlap into whatever you put. So we move it right here. I copy this one. And I'm sure there's another way to do it. This might be probably a faster, easier way. This is the way. You know, with my limited knowledge of Premiere, this is the way I did it. So far it worked for me. So now I have all my photos on the other spot. The last thing to do is to, on my media, I didn't import my logo. So I'm gonna go to my logo, which is right here. Which one is it? Let's say this one. No. This one, 5x5. I'm gonna drag my logo into another layer. I'm gonna come to this layer to see where my logo is. It's humongous. We'll go and scale it again. Okay. Works good. Right about there. I guess that's not quite low. I should have used my black logo on the other one. Oh, anyway. So I'm gonna extend this all the way to the end. This one won't move. Okay, I guess I had to view this one too. And there you have it. You had to scale each one of them and probably relocate, you know, like that one goes over here. That way it makes a little bit more sense. You might have to relocate the photos one at a time if needed. Scale them one at a time, that way you get the same dimension. There you have it. You add music on the bottom and you're good. Then once we're done, we're gonna export this. You're gonna export your media. Because we're recording everything, I think it's making a toll on the computer. At this particular time, when I export to 264. I'm gonna match everything. I'm gonna name it. I'm gonna put it on my same location. And then what else? I'm gonna do this. We don't mess with any of that. We don't mess with any of that, basically. At this point, my file is 39 megabytes, which is gonna work. And it takes 32 seconds. So we're good. Gonna export this. Once it's export, we'll open the file. Wait for it, and it's coming. And here it is with the file. And that's my little slideshow. I hope it's easy enough. I know it's not, probably the best way to do it. This is the way it's working so far. It's working for me. Fast, easy enough once you have the resources and the software. And you have your boxes, and your boxes are already processed.